Dreams are the seeds of every remarkable achievement known to humankind. They begin as invisible thoughts, whispered by the soul, often faint and fragile, yet potent enough to build empires, spark revolutions, and rewrite destinies. Dreaming big is not simply wishful thinking. It is the conscious decision to reach beyond the ordinary, to challenge limits, and to define one's life by ambition rather than circumstance. When you allow yourself to dream without boundaries, you invite your true potential to rise. To dream big means you accept the possibility of greatness and refuse to be confined by doubt, fear, or societal limitations. The size of your dream reflects the scale of your courage. Anyone can dream small, safe dreams that don't threaten comfort zones or demand significant risk. But it takes a special kind of mindset to dream audaciously, to imagine a future where you become the person you were always meant to be. Dreaming big is not about arrogance or fantasy. It is about vision. It is about believing that you have a purpose larger than the life you've known so far, and that your voice, your ideas, your passions are meant to leave a mark on this world. Embracing vision and purpose. At the heart of every big dream lies a powerful vision. Vision is the mental blueprint that guides your decisions, fuels your motivation, and shapes your daily habits. A clear vision is the compass that points you toward your North Star, even when the path ahead is uncertain. Dreaming big requires that you take time to uncover what truly moves you, what you stand for, and what kind of legacy you want to leave behind. It's not enough to want more. You must know why. Your why becomes your fuel on the days when motivation is hard to find, when setbacks come, and when results seem slow to appear. Purpose is what gives your big dream substance. Without purpose, dreams can become hollow ambitions, easily discarded when things get hard. But when your dream is rooted in something meaningful, when it's tied to your values, your passion, your desire to serve or create or uplift, it becomes an unshakable force. People who dream big and connect their dreams to purpose are the ones who endure. They are the ones who persist through failure, through rejection, through seasons of doubt, because they understand that their dream is not just about success, it is about significance. The courage to begin. One of the greatest tragedies in life is not that people dream too big and fail, but that they dream too small and succeed. Many never even allow themselves to begin because they're waiting for the perfect time, the perfect conditions, or the perfect confidence. But that moment never comes. Dreaming big means starting even when you're unsure. It means acting while afraid, speaking when your voice shakes, and moving forward despite the unknown. Big dreamers don't wait for permission. They give themselves the authority to start where they are, with what they have, and grow from there. The first steps on any dream journey are often the most difficult. They require belief in a destination you've never seen. They demand resilience when you're walking alone. But every big dreamer must be willing to be misunderstood at first. Not everyone will see your vision.
And that's okay. It wasn't given to them, it was given to you. Your job is not to convince others to believe in your dream. Your job is to become the person capable of achieving it. One choice, one sacrifice, and one step at a time. Resilience and endurance. Big dreams do not come easily. The road is often long, winding, and filled with unexpected detours. You will face failure. You will experience rejection. There will be seasons of confusion, exhaustion, and isolation. But every challenge you face is part of your preparation. Each obstacle strengthens your character, deepens your resolve, and sharpens your vision. Resilience is the willingness to keep showing up, even after defeat. It is the refusal to quit, even when quitting seems justified. Big dreamers understand that setbacks are not signs to stop, but invitations to rise. Endurance is what transforms a dream into reality. While talent may open the door, only consistent effort can carry you across the threshold. Dreaming big means committing to the long game. It means being okay with slow progress, trusting the process, and understanding that greatness is built in the daily grind. Not in flashes of inspiration,
but an unwavering dedication. When you keep showing up, you build momentum. And over time, that momentum becomes unstoppable. Faith in the invisible. To dream big is to place your faith in what has not yet materialized. It is to walk by vision, not by sight. This requires a deep inner belief, one that doesn't rely on external validation or immediate results. Big dreamers nurture belief like a fire. They protect it from the winds of criticism, feed it with discipline, and keep it alive through intentional action. They understand that faith must precede evidence. You don't wait for proof to believe. You believe, and the proof comes as a result. This kind of faith also helps you maintain hope in difficult seasons. When doors close, when people walk away, when the road grows dark, your faith in the dream sustains you. It reminds you that every dream worth pursuing will require moments of doubt, and that those moments are part of the transformation. Big dreams ask you to become someone stronger, wiser, more focused than you were before. They stretch you, they challenge your limits, and in doing so, they reveal your potential. Building habits for a big life. Big dreams are not achieved by wishful thinking, but by purposeful living. You must structure your life in alignment with your dream. That means establishing habits that move you forward, routines that sharpen your focus, and disciplines that protect your energy. You cannot live like everyone else and expect to experience something extraordinary. Dreaming big requires that you elevate your standards. How you spend your time, who you allow into your space, and what you consume mentally and emotionally must all align with your vision. Small, consistent actions are what bring big dreams to life. Success is not in dramatic gestures, but in the daily commitment to do the work. The person who dreams big is not looking for shortcuts. They're willing to climb the mountain one step at a time. They understand that discipline is freedom, that habits are power, and that structure creates momentum. When your habits align with your vision, your life begins to reflect the dream you hold inside. Overcoming fear and doubt. Fear is the gatekeeper that stands between you and your biggest dreams. It shows up in many forms. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of success, fear of being seen. But fear only has power when you give it your attention. Dreaming big requires that you feel the fear and take action anyway. It means recognizing that courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. The more you act in the presence of fear,
the less power it holds over you. Doubt is another enemy of big dreams. It whispers lies that you are not enough, that your past defines your future, that your efforts are in vain. But doubt cannot thrive in the presence of disciplined belief. Big dreamers train their minds to challenge limiting thoughts. They surround themselves with inspiration. They speak affirmations of strength. They understand that belief is not a feeling, it's a practice. And the more you practice belief, the more real your dream becomes. Creating a legacy. When you dream big, you don't just change your life, you impact the lives of others. Big dreams carry ripple effects. They inspire, they empower, they open doors for others to believe that greatness is possible. Dreaming big is not a selfish act. It is a contribution. It says to the world, this is what's possible when someone refuses to settle. And in doing so, you invite others to do the same. Legacy is built through vision, action, and impact. It's not just about what you achieve, but how you live, how you serve, how you uplift. The dream is the beginning, but the impact is the reward. Big dreamers think beyond themselves. They ask, how can my dream make the world better? How can I use my success to give back, to mentor, to create, to lead? When your dream becomes bigger than you, it gains the power to live beyond you. Sustaining the dream. It's one thing to dream big, it's another to sustain the dream over time. This requires constant renewal of vision, of energy, of commitment. You must stay connected to your why, remain hungry for growth, and keep your eyes fixed on what matters. Burnout happens when you disconnect from purpose. Distraction happens when you lose clarity. Big dreamers make time to reflect, to recharge, and to realign. Community is also vital. You need people around you who challenge you, encourage you, and hold you accountable. Isolation weakens dreams. Connection strengthens them. Share your vision with those who believe in you. Collaborate. Encourage others in their pursuits. When you're surrounded by dreamers, you stay inspired to keep dreaming yourself. Conclusion. The invitation to dream. You have one life, one chance to make it count. The size of your dream reflects the size of your faith, your courage, and your willingness to live fully. Do not waste your days in fear, in doubt, in small thinking. The world needs your dream. The world needs your gift. Dream big, not for the applause, but for the purpose. Not for the validation, but for the vision. Dream big, because playing small does not serve you or the people you're meant to impact. Dream big, and then rise, every day, with action, with faith, with determination. The future is waiting for the one who dares to dream without limits. The foundation of a big dream. Dreams are the most powerful tools humans possess. They are not luxuries of the mind or fleeting wishes of the heart. They are the roots of every extraordinary life ever lived. From the moment we are born, we are wired to imagine, to hope, to look towards something more. But somewhere along the journey, the world begins to teach us to settle. It tells us to be realistic, to fit in, to avoid disappointment. And so, many people shrink. They stop believing. They stop dreaming. But the truth remains. No great legacy, no transformative invention, no movement that changed the course of history ever began without someone who dared to dream big. Think of the icons we admire. Martin Luther King Jr., with his dream of justice. Walt Disney, with his dream of imagination. Elon Musk, with his dream of Mars. These weren't individuals who fit the mold. They were people who dared to think differently, who believed in the impossible. Their dreams were bigger than their surroundings, louder than their critics, and more persistent than their failures. And that's the kind of dreaming we need more of in the world today. Now, consider a personal example. A young woman named Rachel, from a rural town who dreamed of becoming a brain surgeon. No one in her family had gone to college. Her high school barely had the resources for basic science labs. She worked nights, studied during her lunch breaks, and used old textbooks she found at thrift stores. Everyone told her it was impossible, but Rachel didn't let her circumstances dictate her ceiling. She kept going. Today, she's a neurosurgeon saving lives every week. Not because she was lucky, but because she dreamed big and backed it up with relentless action. This is what we must remember. Your dream does not require permission. It requires commitment. It requires grit. It requires the boldness to say, even if no one else believes, I will. Because dreaming big is not just about ambition. It's about owning your potential. It's about recognizing that the life you want is possible, even if you've never seen anyone else live it before. Building the dream muscle. Let's talk about the mindset it takes to dream big. Like any muscle, your dream muscle must be exercised. The first step is to give yourself the mental freedom to imagine without limits. If you could do anything, become anything, go anywhere, what would you do? This isn't just a cute mental game. This is a blueprint. This is your soul trying to speak to your mind. And if you listen, it will guide you toward your purpose. But dreaming big also means detaching from the fear of looking foolish. Most people keep their dreams hidden because they fear judgment. They fear failure. They fear being laughed at. But big dreamers learn to be comfortable with discomfort. They understand that ridicule is a small price to pay for a fulfilled life. They choose authenticity over approval. They choose vision over validation. Let me share a story. Years ago, there was a man named Chris who wanted to be a filmmaker, but he had no connections, no formal education in film, and no expensive equipment. So he borrowed a camera, filmed short scenes on weekends, and uploaded them to YouTube. For years, he got no recognition, but he kept going. Today, Chris is a director for major motion pictures. What changed? Not the size of his dream, but his consistency in chasing it. Dreams that last are fueled by habits that serve. And so we move into the next principle: action. Identity, action, and the bridge between vision and reality. A big dream without action is like a ship with no wind. It might be beautifully built, carefully crafted, and filled with potential, but it will go nowhere until motion is introduced. Dreaming big is not an idle daydream. It's not sitting and waiting for the universe to bless you with success. Big dreams demand big action, but not always massive steps, just consistent, intentional movement. Every single day presents an opportunity to act in alignment with your vision. When you start stacking days like that, you build not just results, but a new identity. Your identity is the internal script that governs how you show up in the world. If you see yourself as a small player in a big world, then you will act accordingly. But if you see yourself as someone destined for greatness, someone capable of extraordinary impact, you begin to operate differently. Dreaming big is not about pretending to be something you're not. It's about stepping into who you've always been, but have not yet fully expressed. Action reinforces identity. When you act like someone who is building a legacy, someone who is worthy of a massive vision, you begin to believe it more deeply. And the more you believe it, the bolder your actions become. Let's be clear, action doesn't always look glamorous. Sometimes, it means staying up late while others sleep. It means turning down distractions, pushing through the pain, and working quietly when no one is applauding. In fact, many of the most critical steps toward your dream will be taken in solitude. There will be no spotlight, no audience, no external reward. And yet, this is where the dream is forged, in silence, in commitment, in sweat. Every single step, every seemingly invisible effort is building something powerful beneath the surface. Over time, this work compounds. The world may not notice it at first, but the results will be undeniable. Consider the story of James Dyson, the inventor of the famous Dyson vacuum. He built over 5,000 prototypes before his design finally worked. Can you imagine the persistence it takes to fail 5,000 times? Most people quit after 5. But Dyson believed in his vision so deeply that failure was simply part of the process, not the end of the road. That's what separates big dreamers from the rest. They understand that rejection, frustration, and even embarrassment are temporary. But regret is permanent. And so, they choose the pain of growth over the comfort of settling. Resilience becomes your best friend when you're chasing something big. Because the truth is, no one gets a free pass. Even the most talented, the most resourced, the most connected, everyone faces storms. The key is not to avoid difficulty, but to be unshaken by it. Resilience means you may bend, but you never break. You adapt. You learn. You rise. Big dreams don't just ask you to show the world what you can do. They ask you to show yourself who you really are. There will be seasons when nothing seems to be working. The world won't understand you. You may lose people, opportunities, even stability. But you must not lose your dream. In the darkest moments, that dream becomes your anchor. It reminds you why you started. It whispers possibility into the silence. It holds your head up when the weight of the journey threatens to pull you down. And slowly, one day at a time, progress returns. It always does for those who stay in motion. But let us not forget the emotional landscape of dreaming big. The highs are exhilarating, yes, but the lows can be brutal. You will battle self-doubt, comparison, and the ache of waiting. You will question your timing, your choices, and sometimes even your worth. And yet, this is part of the transformation. The journey of the big dream doesn't just produce success. It creates a version of you that is sharper, stronger, and more courageous than the one who began. So many give up too soon because they misinterpret the delay. They think, not yet means not ever. But the dream is still growing, even when you can't see it. The bamboo plant, for example, spends years growing its roots underground before it ever shoots above the surface. And then, almost overnight, it grows at a breathtaking pace. Why? Because it was building unseen strength. Your dream works the same way. What you build in the dark eventually shines in the light. In this hour, let this truth sink in. Dreaming big requires movement. Not perfect movement, not fast movement, but deliberate, faithful steps. It requires you to see yourself as the architect of your future. To know that your efforts, though they may feel small today, are stacking up toward something massive. Each action is a vote for the person you're becoming. And if you stay in alignment, if you keep showing up, despite the fear, the delay, the loneliness, you will find yourself living a reality that once only existed in your imagination. Discipline, sacrifice, and mastering your environment. Dreams are fueled by emotion, but fulfilled through discipline. This is where many people fall off the path. They start with enthusiasm, filled with fire and energy, but without discipline, that fire quickly burns out. Big dreams require more than a rush of excitement. They demand structure. They ask you to train your mind, your body, and your behaviors to operate at a level that matches the scale of your vision. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards consistency. It rewards those who show up day after day, even when it's inconvenient, even when motivation is nowhere to be found. When you develop discipline, your dream becomes less about chance and more about certainty. You stop hoping it will happen, and you start building it with every action you take. That kind of power lives inside every person who chooses the hard road over the easy exit. But with discipline comes sacrifice. You cannot have it all if you're trying to do it all. Big dreams ask you to make choices, to give up comfort, convenience, and even some relationships that no longer support your growth. This is a truth few people talk about. Dreaming big will isolate you at times. It will force you to walk roads your peers may not understand. It may even make you question whether you're doing the right thing. But sacrifice is the currency of dreams. You give up what you want now for what you want most. That is not loss. That is alignment. Think of the athlete training before dawn while others sleep, or the entrepreneur investing every dollar into their business instead of instant luxuries. Those sacrifices look crazy to outsiders. But the dreamer knows every trade-off is buying space for something bigger. It is not easy, but it is worth it. Sacrifice refines the dreamer. It purifies the journey. It separates the curious from the committed. And while discipline and sacrifice build the internal structure, the environment you exist in shapes everything else. You cannot grow a mighty oak tree in a small pot. Likewise, you cannot build a massive life in a limiting environment. The people you surround yourself with, the energy you consume, the spaces you frequent, they all influence the pace and direction of your dream. If you're constantly around small-minded thinking, negativity, or fear, your vision will start to shrink. Not because it's not real, but because the environment doesn't support its scale. This is why big dreamers must be intentional about their atmosphere. Surround yourself with those who inspire you, not dream you. Learn from those who are ahead of you, not just beside you. And build spaces, physical and mental, that elevate your energy and expand your belief. A dreamer with the right environment becomes unstoppable, because they're no longer trying to hold their breath in a space that doesn't allow them to breathe. One story that captures this vividly is about a young artist named Leo, who lived in a neighborhood where nobody valued art. Every time he painted, people would mock him or suggest he find something more practical. He almost gave up until he moved to a new city, found a studio space, and connected with other creators. In just a few years, Leo went from struggling in silence to becoming one of the most recognized street artists in the country. Same talent, different environment. That's how powerful surroundings can be. Your environment must match your ambition. It must feed your dream, not starve it. And if you cannot find such an environment, create one. Build a tribe, design a workspace. Protect your energy like your dream depends on it. 'Cause it does. Greatness doesn't grow in chaos. It thrives in clarity and commitment. This hour, let us cement this truth. Dreams are born in emotion but raised in discipline. They are protected through sacrifice and expanded by the environment. Every choice you make, every habit you adopt, every relationship you keep, it all either pushes you closer to your dream or pulls you further away. There is no neutral ground when you're building something extraordinary. So choose boldly, choose wisely, and above all, stay aligned with the vision that called you in the first place. Facing failure, enduring adversity, and protecting the vision. Every big dream will collide with failure at some point. It is not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. But failure is not the enemy of your dream. It is the training ground. It is the gym where your resilience is built. No dreamer worth remembering ever reached the finish line without first falling face first. The world might tell you that failure is a reason to stop, but the truth is, failure is often a sign you are on the right path. It means you're trying, risking, stretching. It means you're alive and engaged in the pursuit of something that matters. What defines the dreamer is not how many times they fall, but how many times they rise. Every time you get back up, you are reinforcing your dream's legitimacy. You are saying, this is worth it. And you begin to wear your scars not as signs of shame, but as medals of honor. Every setback, every rejection, every lost opportunity, they're not dead ends. They're detours that shape you. They're lessons that prepare you for the magnitude of what's ahead. Look at any leader, creator, or innovator throughout history. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television. Steven Spielberg was rejected from film school multiple times. And yet, they all continued. Why? Because the vision they carried was louder than the voice of failure. They didn't let temporary pain cancel out permanent potential. That's the attitude required of big dreamers. You must hold the vision tighter than you hold the failure. Adversity, too,
will try to silence your ambition. Life will throw challenges your way not because you're doing something wrong, but often because you're doing something right. The higher you rise, the stronger the wind. But adversity is not there to destroy you. It's there to reveal you, to expose your true character, to strengthen your determination, and to confirm your readiness. A dream not tested is a dream not trusted. The fire comes to prove that you're not just chasing an illusion. You're building something real. There will be seasons when everything feels like it's falling apart, when people leave, when money dries up, when your energy feels gone. And in those moments, you must make one of the most critical decisions of your life. To continue anyway, to stay committed, even when the feeling fades. Because dreams don't come to life when it's easy. They are born in persistence. They rise from pressure. And they survive only when the person carrying them refuses to let go. That kind of endurance doesn't come from hype. It comes from purpose. You must be deeply connected to the reason behind your dream. It can't just be about money or recognition. Those things fade. But meaning endures. What is your why? Who are you doing this for? What kind of legacy are you trying to leave? When the storm comes, and it will, your why is what keeps you grounded. It's what keeps you anchored when everything else feels unstable. Imagine a man building a bridge in a rural village. He knows it will take years. He knows people doubt him. But he's not building it for fame. He's building it so that future generations won't have to risk their lives crossing a dangerous river. That purpose drives him. And even when stones break and plans fall apart, he continues because the dream is bigger than himself. That's the kind of vision that can endure any storm. To dream big means to guard your dream like sacred fire. It means refusing to surrender to circumstances. It means reminding yourself every day of who you are and what you're building. When doubt knocks at the door, you don't entertain it. You counter it with belief. When fatigue sets in, you rest, but you don't quit. When setbacks show up, you adjust, but you don't abandon. Because you've come too far to turn back now. Let us be clear. Dreaming big is not always glamorous. It will ask more of you than you think you have. But it will also give you more than you ever imagined. It will transform you, break you, build you, and, in the end, elevate you. It will connect you with your deepest strength. And when you look back, you will realize that every tear, every bruise, every long night was not the price, it was the privilege. So in this hour, hold your dream even tighter. Refuse to be shaken by failure. Embrace adversity as your proving ground. And remember, the bigger the dream, the stronger the resistance, but also the greater the reward. Don't let go. Don't give in. You are being shaped for something powerful. When fatigue sets in, you rest, but you don't quit. When setbacks show up, you adjust, but you don't abandon. Because you've come too far to turn back now. Let us be clear. Dreaming big is not always glamorous. It will ask more of you than you think you have. But it will also give you more than you ever imagined. It will transform you, break you, build you, and, in the end, elevate you. It will connect you with your deepest strength. And when you look back, you will realize that every tear, every bruise, every long night was not the price, it was the privilege. So in this hour, hold your dream even tighter. Refuse to be shaken by failure. Embrace adversity as your proving ground. And remember,
The bigger the dream, the stronger the resistance, but also the greater the reward. Don't let go. Don't give in. You are being shaped for something powerful. Legacy, fulfillment, and living the dream. At some point in your journey of dreaming big, the focus begins to shift. It moves from the grind of personal ambition to the deeper meaning of impact. You begin to realize that the dream was never just about what you could achieve for yourself. It was about what you could leave behind for others. Legacy becomes the heartbeat. Fulfillment becomes the fuel. And contribution becomes the compass that guides your final steps toward a life of true greatness. A dream that ends with you is not a big dream. It's a personal goal. But a dream that ripples outward, that lifts others, that inspires long after you're gone, that is legacy. You aren't meant to build something temporary. You were meant to build something timeless. And the most beautiful part of dreaming big is that the life you create becomes a light for others. Your courage gives others permission to be brave. Your breakthroughs become someone else's blueprint. Your journey becomes the spark that ignites someone else's fire. When you reach the point where the dream is no longer just a vision but a lived experience, the feeling is unlike anything else. It's not just about pride. It's about alignment. You're no longer surviving the days. You're living with purpose. You wake up excited. You go to sleep fulfilled. And every moment in between carries a weight of meaning. That's not luck. That's the result of every hard decision, every resilient comeback, every act of faith you made along the way. You've discovered that sacrifice sharpens purpose, and that the right environment can accelerate your ascent. And most of all, you've realized that your dream matters, not just for you, but for the world you will one day impact. So hold your head high. You are not just a dreamer. You are a builder, a creator, a force. You carry inside you the power to change your life and touch countless others. Let the dream guide you. Let it push you. Let it stretch you. And when the day comes that you're standing in the middle of the life you once only imagined, don't forget to look around and smile. You did it. You dreamed big, and you never gave up. Now go, build boldly, live deeply, and leave something behind that will echo far beyond your time.